It's Coach Greg Doucette, and by popular request, today's topic is gaining 20 pounds of muscle in 30 days. Dr. Tony Huge from Enhanced Athlete did a video on this, and people are wondering on what I think about it. Is it possible? What does it make sense and whatnot? So here it is. And before we get into that, do not break the law. Do not take advice from me because I am not your doctor, nor am I any doctor. So don't listen to me. All right, here we go. So I first saw Enhanced Athlete videos basically about a year ago. I was just looking on YouTube, and I was like, man, this guy talks about all this stuff. It's pretty crazy. Then I watched the one he did on DNP, and I was like, this guy is nuts. He's crazy. So I just can't really take him overly seriously because it just, some of the stuff they're doing is just insane. So I just, take it for a grain of salt. Anyway, so getting back to it. It's not possible to gain 20 pounds of muscle in 30 days. There's no way he thinks that it's possible. He's not an idiot. He's quite smart. He knows what he's doing. It's not like he's some Joe Blow off the street. He's an educated guy. He knows a lot about SARMs and things like that. And he's not 20 years old. He's probably, I don't know how old he is. Maybe he's my age. I'm 43. He looks older. He's certainly at or near his genetic limit. He's not natty, so he's not going to get natty gains. He's already enhanced. So it'd be like me saying, hey guys, I'm gaining 20 pounds of muscle in 30 days. I can't gain 20 pounds of muscle in 30 years right now, okay? It's just not possible. I don't care what cycle I did, what training I did, what eating I did. There's no way I could gain 20 pounds of muscle. I already tried. If I had been able to do it, I would have done it, okay? There's not something missing or what have you. So we're going to get into what they're actually doing, and I'll describe or explain if it makes sense. And basically, to start, it's clickbait, guys. You love watching these things. 20 pounds in 30 days. How I gained 30 pounds in 30 days. How I ate 30,000 calories in 30 minutes. It's just like, oh, that's crazy. Let's click it. Let's say it said, how to gain 7.5 pounds of muscle in 30 days. People probably wouldn't watch it, even though it would make sense and it would be like a better video, like legit. Okay, let's see if we can do this. It would make sense, okay? If you gain 20 pounds, it's going to be fat, water, glycogen, and muscle. Not muscle. Not possible. There's no way you're just going to change that much. Even a natty on Tren and every other drug in the world, not going to gain 20 pounds of pure muscle. They might gain 20 pounds, a lot of it's going to be water. And trust me, people that go on these cycles and then they tell me, and they're like, oh yeah, man, I gained 20 pounds. And within 6 weeks after they stop the cycle and the water's gone, they're back down 10 or less. Okay, that's just the truth of it. All right, so some of the things we're using. Trestolone, which is like ment, test, tren, insulin, myostatin inhibitors, peptides. Basically, anything you can use, they're using it, okay? So it sounds like, oh, well, they're going to use all this much stuff. They're going to gain all this muscle. Well, if you watch my video from 2012 on my Cycle to Turn Pro, it's freaking high dose stuff. And I put on a couple pounds of muscle. So it's not like, oh, just the more you take, you get more results. If you take 500 milligrams of testosterone and you put on 10 pounds of muscle on a cycle, you can't take 5,000 and put on 100 pounds. Law of diminished returns. You get small gains when you start increasing the dose. So if you're taking 500 test and your friend's taking 3,000, he's probably not even going to gain double what you gain, even though he's taking 6 times more. So don't think, oh, they take so much, that's why they're huge. No, the smaller doses help the most, and then after that, it's just a little bit more. All right, so one of the things they discussed was they're going to change things up to keep the body guessing before you get used to it. So if you change things up, then you're going to grow. Huge myth. So that would be like me saying, well, I'm going to take test SIP for the first week, then I'm going to take test ENT the next week, then I'm going to take test SUS the next week, then I'm going to do test PRO, then I'm going to do test base, then I'll do suspension, then I'll do undecanoate, then I'll do decanoate. I'm going to keep changing ester. I get that all the time. Shouldn't I change ester? No! It's test is test. All that changes is how fast it's delivered into the bloodstream. It makes no difference. There's not going to be more muscle, less by changing the ester. Well, what about compounds? Well, if you change from a weaker compound to a stronger compound, then you're going to get more muscle as your body gets used to it. Well, that makes sense. That would be like taking test and then switching to tren, which is going to put on like 3 times more muscle on the same dose. You're adding to something stronger. But if you're going from one compound to the next of, say, equal type ability, so let's say we switch from Primo to Masterone to EQ, and we keep swapping back and forth, your body's not going to be like, oh, EQ's coming in now, let's get huge. And then, oh, it was only in for a week, now what? Oh my God, Masterone now? Let's grow more. And then you stop that. Holy shit, it's Primo? Let's grow more. Oh, 20. No, it doesn't work like that. It's like, it's a continuous buildup of something. Something is stimulating the body to grow. It's a different something, but it's not like on top of the other. Oh my God. Now, if you take several different things at the same time, it benefits. So if you take Primo and Masterone and EQ, and you take 300 of each, and it adds up to 900, well then that's going to obviously build more. What is this? Creepy little creature. And so 900 milligrams, and then it's going to stimulate the body to grow at being a 900 milligram dose. Okay, so, you know, it's going to help to have more product, but not crazy more. Like, it's not a huge benefit, but just switching back and forth, not a big deal. Okay, so when you do make a big cycle, like for an advanced steroid user, you're going to use more than one compound. Obviously, you're going to use several different things, but it's not going to make enough difference to add 20 pounds of muscle in 30 days. All right, so he says that you want to, or basically, by doing that, you're going to get more side effects. And they were trying to say you're going to get less side effects in the video. You're not going to get less side effects, because when you have steady blood levels of a product, that's your best chance to not get side effects. Okay? So, for example, if you do testosterone and you shoot it twice a week, you're going to get pretty steady levels. If you're doing testosterone once, and then you stop and you do DECA, and then you stop and the test is building up in your system, then out. DECA in and out. You're getting unstable hormone levels, which will be more likely to cause things like acne and other side effects. You're just not steady. You want consistent blood levels, okay? You do not want fluctuating hormone levels. Next topic, they said they're going to do all short esters. Well, that makes sense. It's going to hit faster. You've got 30 days. You want it in there now. You only have 30 days to put on as much muscle as you want. You want to take all esters that are in your body right away. Like, so I would have started with test suspension. Now, one of the things they said, we're doing 400 milligrams of trenanethate. Well, that just is the opposite of what they just said in the previous, saying we're doing short esters. So they did a long ester of tren. So it's going to be like 5 days before that really kicks in fully. And so you're wasting time. So it would have made more sense to do trenace. So they're kind of contradicting what they're saying right there. Next topic was the eating. They said, we're going to eat several small meals a day rather than bigger ones. Well, the science will say 5 meals a day is all that matters. If you get protein, I've done videos on this before on, how much protein do we really need? You can watch that video. Now, if you eat 10 times a day, you're not going to get more muscle than you eat 5 times a day, assuming you have the same calories. Then he went on to say that they're going to eat these several small meals a day and avoid binging because of this. And I'm quoting this. The only way we're ever going to gain fat is if we overeat in one meal. I thought he was smart, but I don't know if he just said it wrong, but that makes no sense. A calorie surplus overall at the end of the day or week is what's going to determine if you gain fat or lose fat, not just one meal. If you binge eat at one meal and you don't eat the rest of the day and you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. How in the heck do you think these stupid intermittent fast people lose weight? And then they're like, oh, it works, the best diet ever. Well, you're only eating once and you're eating not enough at one meal. Let's say you need 2,500 calories a day to gain weight and you only eat 2,000 because you eat once. Well, you're going to lose weight. So it made no sense when he said this. I was like, what is he even talking about? I just didn't get it. I was like, if you binge eat at 1 meal, you're gaining fat, but not if you overeat at 10 meals. If you eat 10 small meals a day and it's 300 calories times 10, that's 3,000. If you needed 2,500 to not get fat, you're 500 over. You're going to gain a pound of fat a week. It's basic math. It's simple. I don't understand how you messed that up. Next topic, he said. We're going to train twice a day, one muscle group at a time, and just kill it. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. That's not true. If that were true, I don't understand. I can train twice a day if I want. I can train whenever I want. If I thought training twice a day put on even 1% more muscle, I would just train twice a day. Twice a day training doesn't help you more than once a day training, okay? Volume, frequency, intensity, time, and type of exercise, the FIT principles. That is what helps, okay? So you want to train each body part twice a week if possible. And you want your volume to be in a certain range, which I've discussed in other videos as well. You're just really going to have to start watching all my videos on the channel because it's too much to talk about right here. But you don't need to train twice a day. Don't start going to the gym twice a day saying, Dr. Tony Huge said I'll gain 30 pounds of muscle in 2 weeks if I do. No, you're going to gain 0 more pounds. 0. It's not going to help. Train once a day, get in the gym 6 days a week, and that is friggin' amazing. If you can commit that, you're going to benefit. Somebody that goes to the gym twice a day, 7 days a week, isn't going to gain more. There's a point of law of diminished returns in overtraining, and it doesn't help. And it doesn't matter if you're on a steroid cycle or not. You can only do so much and only recover so much. And you build muscle when you are sleeping and resting, not when you're in the gym. When you're literally in the gym, your muscles are literally shrinking, although they're being pumped, but they're being broken down. They're being torn down. What happens in the muscle is like a brick wall, and you go to the gym and you have a hammer and you start hitting on the brick wall and you're putting chips in it, and then after the workout's done, the brick wall's all full of chips, and then somebody comes in with some of that cement and they plaster over the cement, and then it dries overnight when you sleep, and then it sets and hardens, and then 3 or 4 days later you go in and you start chipping at that wall again, and then the wall's chipped. And then you come in, you plaster it over. And this goes on for 10 years, 20 years. And that wall was this thick, and now it's this thick because it's been continuously broken down and repaired. Should you go in and kill it, destroy the weights, and you walk in with a sledgehammer and you break the wall down and it's friggin' on the floor, and then the guy comes in and, I can't fix this wall. I only have cement to plaster. And then he's trying to fix it, and he does the best he can, but it's not really fixed. And then you go to the gym again and you sledge your hand, and it breaks again. You can't recover from this. It's just not working. That's like you stimulate the muscle, you don't annihilate and destroy it. So you have to not overtrain. Most people don't overtrain. Most people don't train hard enough. But if you start going to the gym twice a day for an hour and a half doing 50 sets to failure, and you're all jacked up on trend and test and stimulants, and you're going to do too much. So just remember that, okay? What else do we have? And he was going to do LGD and Trend 400. Yeah, he's just listening. I don't have time to get over and talk about each individual drug. Basically, just doing a lot of drugs. One thing that I really was happy to see is they're getting blood work and being monitored. So say it's 2 weeks into it, and they're just on all the GH and insulin and all the stuff, and it comes back and it's like, oh, cholesterol through the roof, dying. They can stop and be like, okay, that was a bad idea. Let's stop now and pull the plug on it. Rather than going the entire month and then checking after and you're like, oh man, we did irreversible damage. We're screwed. So that is, smart. And so, I'm all for it. Obviously, blood work, awesome. Tell your doctors, right? So insulin, they're going to do 10 IUs. I mean, it's not crazy. It's like a lot of people do that much. You can go hypo, but they're going to have a lot of carbs. So that's all good. They're doing GH 5 IUs twice a day. That's a lot of freaking GH, especially if it's pharmaceutical. I mean, they must be millionaires if they're affording that. But regardless, it's not a lot compared to half the pros do that much. So it's not like, oh my goodness. It's like, yeah, I know a lot of people that do this much. Like the cycle that they went over, it didn't seem insane to me. It seemed like a strong cycle that a lot of pros would do. So it's not like 10 times the dose of like it's not like ridiculous. Okay, so if you're interested in finding out what you can be achieved naturally, you should check out my video on that. This one was about, can you gain 20 pounds of muscle in 30 days? Well, what could you achieve naturally? And if you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on IG. And it's Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro, and my website, gregdoucette.com for coaching. And I really hope you liked the video. More to come.